SeahawkTalk. Today is Monday, May 11, 5/11, 5/11. Nothing significant there. Oh, but it is the day after Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. Let me quickly show something that's in this window. Clear that deck. I loved how our women's basketball team put a nice message out there for Seahawk moms. Happy Mother's Day. Thank you for all your support and everything you do. Back to here, and we're going to show our graphic for our guest list today. Ooh, there's a chime.
Ooh.
Click overlay. Our director of athletics, as she joins us every Monday at 3 o'clock, is on board right now, already in queue. From women's lacrosse, Megan Ryder and Hannah Smith. Both are juniors on the women's lacrosse team and members of our SAC Student Athlete Advisory Committee e-board. From the class of 2016, Ryan Kelly. 4 years to the day when Salve Virginia Baseball won a Commonwealth Coast Conference Championship. Ryan was a senior on that team along with several other classmates. They won 2 games at Endicott College. And then finishing off today's show, 3 freshmen from our softball team, Drew Cepitelli, Sarah Rebello, and Sophia Straza. Now, let's go to another graphic to showcase what we are all about. 20 sports, 1 team. 20 sports, 1 team. That means we're going to our next guest, our first guest, and talking about 20 sports, 1 team. Let's say hello to Jody Meridian.
Well, hello. It's so nice to see you.
Good to see you too again. And Monday, May 11. How about that?
Yeah, that, when you mentioned that it was the baseball championship, that was a great day.
Yes, 4 years ago to the day. It occurred on a Wednesday in 2016 because earlier that morning we were having our senior brunch with Seahawk athletes from the class of 2016. John McDermott, Alex Croce, Mike Sherman, and Ryan Kelly weren't there. They were up in Beverly, Massachusetts.
Yep, and then we went up.
Oh, we flew.
Yeah.
Well, not literally,
right.
but
Yeah.
I think the speed indicator on my vehicle was telling me that I was going much faster than I should have been going.
Yeah, but that, I know you're going to talk to Ryan, but that was a real turning point for baseball.
It really was. The previous year, they had hosted and won the ECAC championships, the last of its kind that we participated in. So I think we're the all-time defending champions in that sport for that organization. And Ryan was a junior on that team along with his classmates, and that was the precursor to multiple championships in a row for that group. Because the 2017 team also went on to win a conference championship, hosting it against Endicott. And I think Ryan may have been in the dugout as an assistant coach with the program.
Yep, he just means so much to us, and it's so. I can't wait to see him on the show. And then we have his little brother. So.
His little brother is a little bit bigger than Ryan is. He got the height genes in the Kelly family.
Yeah, but we're thankful for all of them coming to Salve. And yeah, that was really fun. And then that started the string of NCAA, and it really was a turning point. Yeah,
what a day 4 years ago up at Endicott. They needed to win not 1 but 2 games. And in the very first game, I know I was on the road flying up there, and I was getting updates from Andrew Pizzelli, our sports information assistant, who was back in Newport and following the action on the Endicott stream. And he was saying, "Oh, things are good. Yep." Because I told him, Andrew, if it gets out of hand and you don't think we're gonna have a chance to win it, give me a call and tell me to turn around and I'll come home. But
no.
The weather was gorgeous.
Yep.
And the celebration afterwards was spectacular. I left the camera on in center field, recording the entire time, following the broadcast, because I wanted to get on the field and snap photos of the celebration. And so somewhere late into the celebration, I let the baseball players know, hey, by the way, guys, the camera out in center field, it's still recording. So if you want to go up there and share a message with the camera, it'll record you. And actually,
it'll record you.
I think it was still streaming.
Yeah. It's always funny because people always ask us, like, what do you do? Like, what does an administrator or, media relations? But that's why we do what we do. Days like that, when you actually get to celebrate everyone and everything, that's why it's special to be in athletics.
Absolutely is. I mean, when they ask what we do, we have a lot of fun.
Yeah, we have a lot of work, but it's funny because, we work a full day and then we get to applaud for our work.
Yeah, we cheer on our Seahawks.
Yeah.
So today's lineup is quite the varied lineup. You've been a trooper. You have been the only one out of our regular 20 segments a week that has been in her spot each week. We're in our 7th week. You are 7 for 7, Jody. So
nice. I did think you cut a little of my first performance. I think you wanted me to get better.
That was not intentional at all. You were awesome in that performance. The audio settings, I mean, day one, we can flash back 35 days. Day one was a learning experience for us.
It was 35 days ago. That's hard to believe.
Yeah. No, I'm
yeah,
sorry. It's more. It's 49 days ago.
Yeah. That's what surprises me, just how long this has been going on. But I think what I've noticed, and you've noticed, though, all these weeks, and we still are doing what we're doing and staying connected as much as possible, but our student athletes are really positive when they come on here, and then you and I both get to be on the SAC calls, and you're going to be having some of those officers, and they help us through it. That's what I think is amazing, but that's what athletics teaches. Just like when your sound didn't work, you just get right back up and turn up the volume.
Not only that, Jody, I mean, it didn't work day one because of my error, and it didn't work episode 34 because of my error with John Ingalls. I had 3 successful segments last Thursday. If I kind of recall, the segments: Drew Ballesteri, Nick Palucci for football, Sebastian Nordsey with a nice location for volleyball, and he had been in the office earlier that day. And then we jump over to Hannah Gray from her house in Plymouth, Massachusetts for equestrian. Great segment with her. And then in the transition between Hannah and John, they actually joined me via WebEx. Both of them were WebEx guests.
Oh, yeah.
So great platform. As they joined me in WebEx, during the latter part of Hannah's interview, John actually was getting in line for WebEx. So I had to play around with the little window here where I position the guests so that it comes up into our streaming software.
Oh, my.
And he hadn't technically been admitted into the meeting yet in WebEx. So John was in the waiting room, but finished the interview with Hannah on the streaming software. I muted the streaming software so that any conversation beyond saying goodbye to Hannah wouldn't go on to the stream. So hidden from the stream was Hannah and John interacting behind the scenes. John grew up as an equestrian rider.
Right.
He rode horses. He trained with Jay Sargent.
Yep.
Where we currently train now at Sandy Point Stables. So he had some tremendous history on his side to interact with Hannah Gray. And so when
right,
we came...
which never would have been connected. That's so nice.
Right, so I'm hearing all that. I'm saying, this is great stuff. When John comes back, John, let's talk about that equestrian experience. We did, but none of it got into the stream because I forgot to unmute the stream.
Oh, no. So you didn't sail through that one.
Oh, I should mute this right now. Let me get this mute button working. Why do
I've learned from the best.
No, you are the best because I really enjoy the challenge, trying to out-pun you, and it's a challenge. It's not easy.
No, I wish you were funnier.
Oh, I'm not on my game today. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Probably one of the most unfortunate parts about not the spring sports, but really you're streaming in Florida.
Yeah.
Like that is always such a highlight of the year to see you doing a back and forth, but we'll get it next year.
Because both baseball and softball, when they travel to Florida, and they're usually together in the same area, so it makes it easy on my travel, they're playing close to a quarter of their games in one location in a week. In a week span, they're playing 25% of their games, so it's a great opportunity to get that.
Yeah, that's one of the things I missed this spring, seeing. I mean, everybody missed it, but I do think it's just going to be interesting to continue to watch and see what happens.
We will have later on tonight, not for streaming purposes, but we're letting our audience know, whether they be Seahawk athletes, parents, or whomever, that we're going to be joined by the class of 2020 in tonight's Zoom meeting. I don't want to hand out the password or anything. I don't want anybody crashing it. But I want to give a great recognition of our class of 2020 tonight. And hopefully we'll have as many that can make it. I know there are final exams going on today and even tonight. Some students are unable to join us because they'll be in a final exam that goes from 6 to 8:30. Our meeting will take place at 7, but really looking forward to that and seeing the faces.
Yeah, I can't wait. That's going to be really nice. And it was, because Sunday would have been, a week ago, we would have had the seniors march in and then the senior brunch. So this will be at least something. It'll
be the replacement for all those activities that we were looking to do in person and having.
Yeah, and we will at some point do something in person.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us in your regular segment at 3 o'clock on Mondays. I'm going to brush up on my puns for tonight. I do have a book
I know.
somewhere.
You better get ready.
Oh, man.
Whoa. But so I'll see you soon.
Challenge accepted. Thank you,
Take
Jody.
care. Bye-bye.
That's Director of Athletics, Jody Moradian, joining us in our first segment, as always, on Monday. Today is Monday, May 11th. We'll come back from a short break and be joined by members of our women's lacrosse team. Stay with us. Welcome back to Seahawk Talk on Monday, May 11. My name's Ed Habshaw. We just finished a segment with our Director of Athletics, Jody Moradian, and now we're going to jump right over to two members of our women's lacrosse team who have experience working with Jody Moradian because they are members of our Student Athlete Advisory Committee Executive Board. And they are in queue right now. Let's jump right over to their screen and say hello to Megan Ryder and Hannah Smith. Welcome, ladies.
Hi.
So, I was just asking you, any exams today?
No, not today.
Good
Tomorrow.
for you. Nursing major for Megan and elementary education major for Hannah. Ladies, if you want to take a moment and tell me how this semester has gone for you both academically and what you can tell us athletically as well.
Sure. Maggie, if you want to go first, you can.
Yeah. So academically, it's definitely been a challenge turning over to remote learning, especially with clinical for nursing, and there's not a lot of hands-on, obviously. So it's definitely going to be an adjustment going back to the fall. But overall, I think once all the syllabi were set in place and we got a hang of everything, then it was definitely better. It was a good learning experience too. We might have to do this in the future. So, and then athletically, I think it's definitely hard that we didn't have our season. We've been working for this since the fall. And Hannah and I don't really know SalveAthletics without our seniors. We grew up with them throughout the 3 years we were here. So it's definitely been hard. They're very talented. We will have new talent coming in next year, but it's going to be, we're going to have to put in a lot of work to get our team together and everything.
Yeah, you guys were off to a great start, Megan, and you got to witness a senior who's graduating and also a nursing major like yourself, Maddie Villarreal, reach a milestone.
Yeah.
We're showing that footage right now of Maddie Villarreal scoring her 200th point via a goal for the Seahawks. And what can you say to your outgoing seniors?
It's very emotional. I don't know. We're gonna miss them a lot. I know they'll be back next year cheering us on. They great captains. The three of them who were captains, it was Maddie, Gibby, and Steph. They're great leaders, great role models, and all the other seniors too. Just great friends to have, great teammates. We're gonna miss them a lot.
And Hannah, you were able to join us earlier on a segment for Seahawk Talk. Talk about how the rest of the semester has wound down for you, and what you're looking forward to with your exams coming up.
So I am pretty excited because I actually only have one exam this week because the rest of it has been projects. So last Wednesday, I finished my final presentation for my Strategies for Young Children class, and that's a class where we learn how to work with students who have autism and other disabilities. So that was really cool that I got to finish that up early. I learned a great deal with that class, so that was nice. And then I just have a couple other projects that I have to finish up and lesson plans to do and turn in. So that's super easy. Kind of, but it's for me, it's easier than doing a bunch of tests.
True.
So I'm excited to get that over with and done and just kind of get started on my summer and see where that takes me. And
Where will your summers take each of you?
I will be in Newport, so I will be doing all kinds of stuff around here. I actually just got a text from my boss at Sweetberry Farm, and they're opening up next week. So she texted me and said, "Hey, we have a spot for you if you want it." So I'm really excited about that.
I actually have an internship in a hospital on Long Island where I live, so I'll be there for the summer.
Excellent. And you're from Wantock, and you are a triplet.
I am.
Folks in the audience may not know that.
Yeah.
We want to say, what is that experience like? And both your brothers, Liam and Sean, play lacrosse as well.
Yeah, it's not really different for me because we've grown up going to school together, and obviously we're really close. But it's funny when everyone's like, "Oh my God, you're a triplet." I'm like, "Yeah, I've heard this my whole life." But I don't mind it. We're pretty close. So
Ladies, talk about your experience with SAC and being on the e-board. You're under the direction of Matt Finlayson, our assistant athletic director, and throughout this pandemic, you've been meeting regularly through Zoom and going over various things that you can do, and that includes one final meeting coming up on this Thursday.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we do a lot of stuff in person with SAC throughout the school year, and so it was kind of weird for us to not have school because we didn't have practice, we didn't have class, and then we didn't have anything to do for SAC. So Megan and I were talking, and we were like, what are we going to do? All of our responsibilities have been kind of diminished a little bit. But then Matt had a really good idea for us to meet a couple times throughout this whole pandemic kind of coronation thing, and that was really nice because we got to see everyone, and that was cool. We also partnered with Winner to help out with their fundraiser that they're doing, the Buckets of Love. So I believe they're still doing that, which is awesome. So we made a video for that, and then we have just been trying to keep everybody connected and work hard doing that.
Excellent.
Yeah, and as a media relations coordinator, this is definitely in my zone, I guess.
Yeah.
Because with the remote learning, it's my platform. I had to step up and start putting things out there, and I don't know, it's just nice to see everyone coming together, especially our e-board, and everyone who can help out and who's made videos, and I don't know, it's nice to see us coming together.
Do you guys realize the experience that you're getting from being on the e-board, and also as a nursing major and an education major, you're going to have a set of tools because of this pandemic to really be attractive to a future employer.
Yeah, it's been very cool. We always talk in my education classes. We always talk about how we have these new virtual skills, with using Zoom and WebEx, and we use this software called Flipgrid to make lesson plans. And so that's been really cool because I personally have gotten the experience for that, that I can use in the future. Meg, I don't know what you guys have been up to, but I feel like you have kind of the same thing.
Yeah, well, it's definitely since everything's online now. A lot of healthcare providers and doctors, and they're all doing virtual meetings with their patients. So I feel like this is definitely a great skill I could take into the future with me.
How about Coach Villarreal? Give a shout out to the big guy.
Coach V, we miss you.
Yeah.
I know. Hopefully we'll see him soon.
Yeah, we should have a meeting soon.
We're playing some photo montages that was put together by Andrew Pizzelli, Coach on the sidelines, Coach in his bucket hat, and Coach without a bucket hat.
Always the bucket hat.
Yeah. Yesterday, he shared with me through an email that he submitted a really nice 15-second message to the class of 2020. And it reminded me to do something similar because our university relations office is asking faculty and staff to put together just a 15-second message to wish the class of 2020 well on their graduation, which will be official this Sunday.
That's exciting.
So I want to wish you guys the best of luck in your final exams, or in the case of Hannah, exam. And Megan, best of luck with your nursing exams and all your other classes as well. Thank you for joining me on Seahawk Talk.
Of course. Have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll see you soon.
All right. Thank you very much.
Bye. Thank you.
That's Hannah Smith and Megan Ryder from our women's lacrosse team. I'm Ed Habishaw. Looking for this graphic to show up on the screen. Join us as we step back in time, not too far away, but 4 years ago, and we'll connect with Ryan Kelly of our baseball team. And actually, as we go into this break, I am actually going to play this as our break and then come back with Mr. Kelly from there.
Jepson from the stretch. delivers. Strike 3, and the Seahawks have won the 2016 Commonwealth Coast Conference Championship. Seahawk fans, celebrate.
There comes the 1-1 from Poplawski. In the air, Santilli calling for it. He has it! The Seahawks repeat as Commonwealth Coast Conference champions! How about that? The fans storm the field. The Seahawks mob near the mound. Back-to-back titles for the Seahawks. Zach Lopez, a freshman, with a chance to close out a title for Salve. Cement what could be a dynasty. The pitch. On the ground. Again. Ward. He stabs. He throws. And the Seahawks win! 3 titles in 4 years for Salve Regina. They capture the 2019 Commonwealth Coast Conference Championship. Unbelievable. A dog pile on the mound. A season that had ups and downs, twists and turns. It could never be easy. But the Seahawks find a way. They put it all together in the last 2 weeks. And once again, for the 3rd time in 4 years, they're on top of the CCC.
That's 4 seasons in a row that Salve Virginia University baseball has gone to Commonwealth Coast Conference Championship Series. Preceding that, in 2015, the Seahawks captured the ECAC championship. That was during Ryan Kelly's junior year. After Ryan Kelly and his teammates won the title in 2016 and then made a trip to Scranton, Pennsylvania for the NCAA championships, he came back home to Newport, Rhode Island, and sat down with me for a nice interview. Here's a portion of that right now.
I remember Jepson coming in, and he's been our guy all throughout the playoffs. He was awesome, and it just looked like he didn't even know he was in the championship game. But that last batter, my heart was racing. I'm looking at Coach in the dugout walking up and down, up and down. We got foul ball, foul ball, foul ball. Finally, he throws a pretty tight late break slider. I don't even know what it was. All I saw was him swing and miss, and I'm sprinting from the outfield. I got Sherman trying to come and hug me, and I'm knocking him out, getting the pile. That was probably the best experience I ever had. I never dogpiled, and honestly, that's what we said. All of us brought it out, 1 through 9 position players. We brought it up and see at the bottom of the pile. We were so confident. Oh gosh, that was the best experience in the world, being able to celebrate it with all those guys. Had a ton of individual awards before that, but nothing beats winning something with a team, winning a championship, especially winning the conference. It's something that no one can take away from any of us as a team, and especially for my fellow seniors. Sending them out was my number one goal. I didn't just want it for myself. Those 3 guys earned it. From their freshman year, if you were going to tell me, Sherman was going to be on the team throwing underhand, and McDermott and Croce coming in the playoffs and shutting guys down, it was awesome. They were great, and they're champions, and that's all that matters to us. First team to do that in 10 years, and it's even more special for Coach, I think, and his dad, Steve. First time since he was a player and coaching his son. For Skip, and now they're coaching together, and getting that first one in 11 years is great, and I was glad I was able to be a part of it, especially as a senior, kind of going out on top. It was something special.
That's Ryan Kelly then, and here's Ryan Kelly now.
Hey Ed, how's it going?
Good.
Thanks for having me.
How are you doing, Coach Kelly?
Good. As good as I can be, just staying home. I working every day, but I was hoping to catch some Salve baseball games this spring, unfortunately.
Well, I want to wish you happy anniversary.
Oh, that's right. May 11th, 2016, and I think last year, you may need to check, but 2019, I think we won on May 11th.
Yes, you did, which was a Saturday a year ago, and that both May 11 championships required you, the Seahawks, to win 2 games on that date on the road. Yours was up at Beverly, Massachusetts, defeating Endicott twice, and last year's was in Bristol, Rhode Island, defeating Roger Williams twice.
Yeah, last year reminded me a lot of 2016. That was great, bringing the first one in 2016 back to Salve, but then seeing them do it again in 2017 and then in 2019. It reminded me a lot of 2016. I went to that game in Bristol, sat in the outfield with a bunch of my classmates, Sherman and Croce and Gibby. We were all out there, so it was fun hanging out with them there.
The weather could not have been more perfect a year ago, and that was the Saturday before Mother's Day. Just absolutely spectacular on that Saturday.
Oh, it was great. A great day to play too, and what an electric performance by that team. I think Maybach pitched the first game, and then Matthews pitched the second.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. When you got those 2 on the mound, a great chance of winning. And I know Coach Sorella and all those guys think so too.
And a freshman, Zach Lopez, finished it off in the final inning of the championship. How impressive was that?
That's right. Yeah, it was a ground ball, I think, the last out to the shortstop. I think that's in the video there that everyone put together. Yeah, it was great. A lot of pressure, but he's been there before. That's why we play a tough schedule. And I'm sure Coach Sorella tells you that just in the office all the time.
It's so true. And you were an early part of Coach Sorella's success at Salve Regina. In the full interview that we sat down for 4 years ago, you explained how you arrived at Salve Regina, and it really wasn't baseball that brought you to Salve. Talk about that, Ryan.
Yeah, it was actually football. you heard Coach Sorella say recently some of those high school guys go unnoticed, and I came here to play football, and it turned out baseball ended up being my better sport, and did well freshman year and then stuck with it. But it's funny how that works, and I think it worked out for the better. We got a lot better as a program, too. I mean, look at the field from where it is now to back in 2012 where we didn't even have a dugout. We were standing outside behind the painted line.
And Ryan, playing football, what position did you play in that sport?
What was that? Sorry, you went in and out.
When you played football, what position did you play?
Oh, I played free safety. So it was really like I was playing center field in the outfield. So very, very similar, just tracking down hopefully some interceptions, but I traded it in for a baseball glove and tracking down some fly balls.
Yeah, and you were never afraid of giving hits in football, and you weren't afraid of getting hit in baseball.
No, I needed to get on base. Scoring runs was my way to help the team. I got hit a lot, and I got called back a lot junior and senior year. I know it was the first game of the season. Senior year, I got called back for leaning into the pitch. But...
Yeah, your freshman year, Ryan, you set a record both for Salve and perhaps conference-wise of getting hit by pitch. And before the start of your sophomore year, the NCAA developed a rule that said, hey, it's going to be at the umpire's discretion whether they award you to first base after getting plunked by a pitch. That very often you never dove over the plate to get hit by a pitch, but you held your ground.
Yeah, I stood pretty close. I didn't really move, but I was right on the line. My feet were right on the line.
Well, your teammates, your classmates with a number of pitchers, Sherman and Croce and McDermott, two of them with that sidearm style. One from the right, one from the left. Talk about, would they rib you at all? No pun intended there. As far as, hey, that's my plate. I need to get the ball over that plate for strikes, and you're just right on top of it.
Yeah, Sherm was a little easier being the lefty.
Yeah.
That would come in, I could hit that, but McDermott actually was able to strike me out, and if he's watching this, he'll get a good laugh. It was in the fall, struck me out, but he would come inside. He wasn't afraid to, and Croce too. Even though he was over the top, he would let me know at 89 miles an hour that he was the boss. So they weren't afraid to come in.
So Ryan, in these, you're in the record books for hit by pitches, but what are the ones that we've missed from the practice setting with your teammates plunking you?
Oh gosh. At least a couple. I would say 15 or 20 more, at least, through the 4 years.
Do you still have the bruises to show it?
I probably do, yeah.
Some of them are permanent?
Yeah, some of them, they don't go away, and you can remember them.
So what's happening with you during this shutdown in this pandemic?
Yeah, a lot of remote meetings with customers, clients, and internally. So getting used to Zoom and not doing business face to face is a little different. But I'm in cybersecurity sales anyway, so we're in that field of having people open accounts remotely in banks and protecting their mobile apps. So it's a good tool to use Zoom, but it's different not being face to face with a customer. That's for sure.
Are you able to be face-to-face with the Commonwealth Coast Conference Men's Soccer Defensive Player of the Year?
Occasionally, yeah. He's actually up in Newport now. I came home and he left. I think he didn't want to see me, but...
Timing is everything.
Yeah.
Well, you've been such a big supporter of his as your whole family was of you during your playing days, and I love getting to see you come back either on campus or at road games, which you very frequently are at, cheering on the Seahawks, not just in baseball, but other sports, including your brother Casey Kelly's sport of men's soccer.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. I really like going to the road games, the home games, but he supported me countless games, summer ball out in the vineyard in Connecticut, all the games at Salve. So it's fun going to watch them, and They were a great team this year. It was a lot of fun. Going down to watch them in Virginia was great. And it was nice to see them win a championship. That was great. It was so fun to watch them.
And Casey was a huge part of that. I believe you also got to go to his All-American ceremony, which was in the Mid-Atlantic area as well.
Yeah, that was down in Baltimore. So I took the trip. We all did, actually, all 5 of us. My sister flew in from Chicago. I flew down from Boston. And it was nice. I mean, he had such a great year with the team. But personally, something that I could never do. I was never an All-American. So a little jealous. But congratulations to him. That was quite an achievement. And doesn't come by very often. So it was enjoyable to see that for him.
Well, obviously, what we're experiencing now doesn't come by every so often either, and thankfully. What words of encouragement can you leave us for the class of 2020?
I think the biggest thing is keep your head up. There's bigger and better, brighter days ahead of us. Don't get discouraged, and keep using FaceTime and the technology. It's great to be able to see people and keep talking to people. You're not alone. You pick up the phone and call anyone, friends, family, cousin. Any of the guys that are playing baseball now, if you need someone to talk to, give me a call. I'm always around. So,
love the positivity from Ryan Kelly as a player and now as a former player, but also a coach.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I like to stay on. I was looking forward to doing some scouting this year, but unfortunately couldn't do that. It's fun being able to be a part of it still. So I'm happy Coach Sorella keeps me on board.
Excellent. Well, you're looking good. Thank you for joining us on Seahawk Talk, Ryan.
Thanks, Ed. Take care.
Take care. That's Ryan Kelly, class of 2016, a Commonwealth Coast Conference champion with baseball. And we'll be joined by freshmen from our softball team after a short break. Stay with us.
Leading off for the Seahawks in the bottom of the first inning is freshman Drew Cepatelli. Garrigan strolled down to second base, drew the throw, and that allowed Packer to sneak into home. Double steal. That's in the air. Left field, it's carrying. And lands in. Garrigan coming around, heading home. She'll score. It's 7-5. Sophia Straza with a pinch hit double, RBI double to left center. Soft liner to Sarah Rabello at shortstop. She makes a play for the first out in the 7th. That's grounded to Rabello at short. The freshman steps in, makes a strong throw to Machado, and retires Rin on the 6-3.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you, Coach Iaquinto. That's the first thing we hear because I just unclicked mute. I was hearing my phone texting as well, so great job. Oh, man. All right, so you guys are on the group chat line with Coach Iaquinto. That's good to know.
Yeah, she just texted me.
All right. Whew. We are back, and now we're being heard. So, hey, Sarah, what did you just say? If you can start over.
So I was asked the question how my freshman season was, and I said that it was great for us, and we looked really good going into the first game, and we're only gonna get better, especially, and everyone's very welcoming, and we all get along so well, and it just we kind of just clicked with the team, and that's what made it so great for us this season because we had such great friends and everyone was there and looks out for each other pretty much.
I agree with Sarah with all of that, but when you're first coming in, it was really nerve-wracking because you're have all these thoughts about oh, am I as good as all the other players, and then you're adjusting to college and school and all that stuff. But luckily our team was awesome at making us feel comfortable. We did a lot of team things in the beginning, and before practices and lifts they would text us and be like, hey guys, if you have any questions about what we're supposed to wear or just anything, just reach out. So they were really helpful with the transition and making us feel comfortable and always knowing that we had somebody to rely on. So that definitely helped us a lot.
Yeah, for me, I guess my biggest scare coming into college was the adjustment process. And definitely I had heard some bad things about 6 a.m.s, waking up for those lifts. That was definitely one of my worst fears. And I feel like the girls, just the energy in the gym, the energy at practice all the time really helped us push us through. That was probably my favorite part of everything, being at practice and just being a part of the team and being so energetic all the time. I never really experienced a practice like that before. Everyone like so passionate all the time. So I guess that was my favorite part. And it was just awesome to be able to experience that. And now I have that off my shoulders freshman year going in sophomore year. So I'm excited to see what next season has to offer for us.
Awesome. We showed some footage at the beginning of this segment with audio, and I may show it again without the audio. But Drew Sepatelli is the leadoff batter for the Seahawks in Game 1 and Game 2 of the 2020 season. Drew, if you could have that backdrop while you're at the plate, that would help a great deal, wouldn't it?
Yeah, probably.
Walk-up song.
Talk about being the leadoff hitter for the Seahawks.
Really scary, actually, because first, we do like the run through where you do like the handshake with the person at the end, and I didn't know that I was going to be leadoff, and like coach told us like before the game started, so I didn't like have a handshake. I also didn't know what we were even supposed to do, so it's like 30 seconds before we're supposed to go, and they're just like, "Oh, do this." I'm like, okay. I kind of forgot the handshake when I was doing it, but whatever. And then being leadoff was scary. It's my first college game, and I was like, I don't know, I was like distracted because I also wanted to hear what my walk-up song was because the girls were really hyping it up, and like I was like nervous to hear it, but excited to hear it. I just didn't know what it was gonna be. So
yeah, none of you had a choice in your walk-up song, right? It was given to you.
Yeah, and they don't like tell you what it is or play it until you're first at bat.
Wow, so that is nerve-wracking.
That was fun, but I like my song. It was interesting. And then when I went in to hit, like I was still pretty nervous, but not as nervous because I was just like, yeah, I'm in college, but you're hitting just like you would like any other game, like it was in high school in the summertime. You're like pitcher pitches you the ball and you just hit the ball. So it was like the same. So I got a lot less nervous, but at first I was so scared.
Natural lefty or converted it into a slap hitter?
Converted into a slap hitter.
All right, we won't tell anybody that, okay? Great success in your opening 2 games, and Sarah Rebello, you get to be the starting shortstop for the Seahawk Athlete of the Year, Amanda Riley. You were her successor as the starting shortstop. Talk about that experience.
Yeah, like obviously coming in, like I heard so much about Amanda, and I knew like how big of shoes I'd have to fill if I did have even a shot at playing at shortstop. Like that was a surprise to me. Like none of us knew where we were going to be playing. Like we all got the lineup like right before the game, and when I found out I was playing shortstop, like obviously I was super happy. Like I was so excited, but at the same time I knew I had such a huge role, like as a freshman, being such like having like a leadership kind of spot in the field, because the shortstop, they do have kind of like a lot of responsibility and have to make sure you communicate with your team, know that everyone's on the same page, know that everyone knows where to throw the ball next. And it was a lot of pressure. Like it was a lot of work to learn all the plays and like just like jump into it. And like coach let me jump into it at practice. She would give me we all got millions of reps, like ground balls. Like it helped so much. Just like the repetition of what we do and how much we work like in the field. So it was definitely scary. I was definitely nervous, but I felt very comfortable at the same time because of all the practice that we did and how many reps I got at shortstop. So I definitely felt like we were all just ready to play because we had practiced so much and we were really prepared. And
I joked with you that you have number 11 because of the double L's in your last name. And then I had to say to Sophia Strasser afterwards, you're number 22 because of the double Z's in your last name.
Yeah. It's cool how that works out. But now I'll look at it like that. I didn't before.
Yeah. Well, Sophia, you got to appear in Game 1 as a pinch hitter, and you struck a huge RBI double. Talk about that experience.
Yeah, I would say that was honestly a huge relief for myself. Getting in there as a pinch hitter freshman, first game ever at a collegiate level, definitely scary experience. Had to really zone in and try and tone out all of the cheering and like Drew was saying, the new walk-up song, like had to kind of zero in and focus on that. I think I was a 3-2 count too, so that definitely brought up the heat. I don't know, I was really, really relieved and really happy. And when I saw Coach cheering me on, she was at third. When I was standing on second, I was like, okay, I can take like a deep breath now. Like I'm good. So it was definitely a great experience.
So what's the rest of this week look for you? Are you ready to become sophomores?
I'd say yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah, I guess we're ready.
And I know Coach Iaquinto has done a great job recruiting you and your fellow classmates, as well as the class of 2024. Talk about your involvement there and how you've already gotten to know or will be getting to know future Seahawks.
We've all done a lot. We've done like a Zoom meeting with them. We did that last week, and we've done other things. Like some of us have been like texting them, like following them on Instagram, commenting on their Instagram posts, just like little things like that to just show them that we're like involved and like we're here for them if they want to talk or if they're nervous about anything. I know I personally had texted them last week and just like reached out about like, class schedules or like if you guys have any questions, reach out. We've met all of them actually when we did like overnights and we were back at school, and they're all so nice, and I think they're going to be a perfect fit for their team. They're really funny and just like relaxed, so I'm really excited to like play with them and have them on our team.
Yeah, they seem very, very relaxed. It's a good word to you. Like they weren't very scared to talk to us. Like they were very open with everything. Just seemed like a fun group of girls, easy to connect with, and like we'll understand what we're talking to them about, and just they'll be a good fit for us. We'll have a good time.
Yeah, we always have such good activities to do with them too, which like helps them open up even more because we just have like a good time when they're here and like they're in Newport, Rhode Island, and they can see how beautiful it is, and like the things we do are just like things that some people will never even get to do. Like we go to Courtney's house, which is literally right on the water, like, and it's like beautiful. It's like who wouldn't want to go to Salve? And like once they see like it's a bonus, the team that they're getting to spend like in this beautiful place, like it makes it even better because they can just see it's almost like the perfect package.
Well, ladies, congratulations on completing your freshman year, and it's because of you. It's a tribute to you as the class of 2023 that Coach Iaquinto's class of 2024 is going to be as awesome as you say it is.
I think they will be.
Great job welcoming them in, and great job in completing your first year as a Seahawk.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining me on Seahawk Talk today, and look forward to seeing you on campus in a 2021 season next year.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's Sarah Ribello, Sophia Straza, and Drew Sepitelli joining me on Seahawk Talk today on Monday, May 11th. Thank you for joining us for our multiple guests that we had on today's show. And come back tomorrow as we keep up with the spring in Seahawk Talk. Take care.